Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm excited to show you some new products out of the upcoming annual 2023 to 2024 catalog. So let's get started. We're going to make this pretty birthday card today. So I have a piece, oops, I'm hitting my light. I don't know if that hit the camera or not, but anyways, I have a piece of Lost Lagoon cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I did score it at 4 1/4. We'll just give that a nice crease. Then I have a piece of basic white, and this is cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. That's just a layering piece. And then I have a piece of Fresh as a Daisy DSP, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I did show all of the DSP in this pack in my last video, so I'll link that below if you wanted to take a peek. And we're going to start with this piece right now. So I'm just going to grab a piece of grid paper. The stamp set we're using is Cheerful Daisies. We're going to use quite a few stamps out of this set. And it does have coordinating dies, which I'll show you those. Well, here, I'll show you these dies. These are the ones we're not using. But you can see they have all different dies to match the stamps, plus a few extras. All right. So I'm going to start with Azure Afternoon. This pretty blue. Oops, got my thumb right in it. There we go. All right, and I'm just going to take this little daisy and just scatter it around on the DSP. Like this. And it doesn't matter, you know, where you're stamping. You just want to get a good coverage in the background here. Let's see, we'll put a little bit at that corner and then another one coming off right there. All right, so then I have this little piece, center piece. Let me just close this, or I'll put my thumb in it again. And I've got some crushed curry. Let me just put those aside so I don't get ink on them. And I'm just going to take the center piece of the daisy and just plop it right in on each, in the center of each daisy. Let's turn it a little bit. All right, that's our last one. So the next thing I did, it's hard to see. I'm sure it's hard to see on the camera, but I do have some white splatters in the background just to fill it in a little bit more. So I'm going to take my basic white, or my craft white, I should say. Let me just move the envelope there. And I'm borrowing a stamp from the Irresistible Blooms stamp set, and this has coordinating dies as well. This is one of the online exclusives that you can order, and we're just going to take the splatter piece here. So I'm just going to ink it up, and then I'm just going to go right over in different areas on here to add a little more to our background. And as it dries, it is harder to see, but I just felt like it filled it in a little bit for me. Here. And then we'll do one here. And I think that looks pretty good. Alrighty. So we'll close that up, and now we're going to make the daisy on our card. Actually, let's put our layers together here quickly, just so they're out of the way. So I'm just going to adhere this one to our basic white, like so, and then adhere that right to our base of Lost Lagoon. I just thought the white layer in between the two brightened up the card a little bit, so that's why I did that. You don't see much of it. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of scrap basic white, and I'm going to come in with our outline of our daisy. Now, there is a stamp that colors in the inside of the daisy. I just chose to leave it white today. There we go. And I'll show you at the end, I watercolored it in one of my cards as well, so I can show you that sample when we finish with this one. All right, and then we need the bigger centerpiece. We're just going to do that here. You could stamp directly in there too if you wanted. I just wanted to add a little more dimension. And then for our leaves, we've got some Lost Lagoon, and I just wanted, this is a whole piece, and I just wanted this part of the leaves. So we're just going to die cut that with the stem, and then we'll cut around the parts we don't need. So then the last thing we need to stamp here is our sentiment, and we're going to do that in Lost Lagoon. We're all set with that ink pad. All right. There we go. Wishing you the brightest birthday. And I don't need all of this paper to go through the... All right. So let's get out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and do some die cutting. I'm going to just cut this part off as well. Just so I like having everything separated when I put it through the machine. We'll see if we can fit it all on. We might have to do 2 runs. I just want to get all my dies in one place here to the side. Okay. Birthday, get all my pieces. Otherwise, they fall off the table. I don't know about you, but I lose pieces all the time. All right, so let's set it up over here, I think. And we're just going to do our daisy first. And we're just going to line it up. That looks pretty good, maybe a little bit here. And then we've got our center of our flower. And we're just going to line that one up. Then we've got, I think I'm going to do the Lost Lagoon pieces separately. And then we're just going to line up. It just fits in this. Hopefully I have it straight. It was a little crooked on my sample. All right, so let's hope we can get all 3 of these without jumping. I know I can tape them, but it drives me nuts to bring out the tape each time, so I take my chances. Oops. There we go. I think we've got it. All right, so we've got our sentiment. We'll put those right there. And then we've got the center of our flower right here. And then we've got our daisy right here. And then we're just going to run through again. And we're going to just do our stem. And this piece here, we just need the leaves. So we don't need to worry about cutting out the rest of the flowers on that piece. We'll run it through again. Alrighty, so here's our final pieces. Now I do have to say with this leaves, the stems are really skinny. So you have to be careful you're not going to break it when you're cutting it around. Let me just grab some scissors. Whoops. All right. I've got my paper snips right here, and we want to poke out the middle. This is really pretty fragile. All right, let's see. We'll poke out the middle here. You could actually leave that in if you wanted to. And then all we need is just these leaves right here. So we're going to just cut that part out. There we go. And that's going to tuck under the stem a little bit as well. All right, so let's assemble the rest of our card. Here's our base. So what I'm gonna do is use a little bit of the fine tip glue because this is so skinny, it's hard to use seal on it. Let's see, I don't wanna push it out too fast because then I'm gonna be gushing. There we go. So we're just gonna put that right about here. Hold it for a second. And then I'm going to tuck this on with a glue dot, I think. Let's see. No, you know what? Let's use the fine tip glue on this as well. I think that's what I did. Sometimes I made this card a couple days ago, so sometimes it's hard to remember exactly how I got it on. We'll just add a little glue up here too so it doesn't bend. All right, and we're just going to tuck that right in there. Hold that for a quick second. Okay. I just like to get my lid on as quick as possible so it doesn't dry out. Let's see if it's going to let me do it quickly. No, we'll do it after. All right. So I'm just going to use some seal on the center of our flower. Right on my table. All right. And then we'll put this on this way, I guess. I think it can go either way. Then we need some dimensionals. Alrighty, almost done with this one. And then we're just gonna put that on however you want it angled. And then we have our sentiment last, and we're gonna pop this up on dimensionals. And add it on right here. And then we're all set. And if you hold on just a minute, I will show you the other ones I've made. So here is our original, and here's the one we made. And then I've also made this one where I stamped the outline and I watercolored with, I think I used a blender pen. I don't think I used an aqua painter, but you could use, no, maybe I did use the aqua painter because the surface is a little bit bigger than I would use for a blender pen. But that's some new DSP behind there as well, and some new ribbon. And then I made this one with the pretty DSP that's already printed as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, just leave them listed down below. I believe May 2nd is when you can start ordering from the new catalog. And thank you so much for your time.